Hi, I'm Kaylee,
And I'm Jeremiah.
and today on our podcast, our question is, would you compromise your happiness for the success of the relationship? I think that's a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
I think the person who wrote this question is very smart.
Yeah.
No, I think that is a good question. And the fact of that a lot of people, well, I think sometimes maybe sacrifice their happiness, not so much, Yeah, I think that's probably it a little bit more. It's probably a little bit more of a sacrifice, I think, sometimes, happiness wise. Excuse me. I don't know. What do you think?
That's kind of a hard question to answer.
Yeah, it is kind of hard. I think it's kind of one of those areas that's not so black and white. I think kind of depending on what the situation is, and when you think of happiness, if you're completely miserable, then I would say no, don't do that. Don't make yourself miserable for a relationship that doesn't make any sense, because then nobody's happy in that sense. If it's something like, let's say, the example is, I just got offered this really great paying job, but we'd have to move, a couple hundred miles away. And, the other person's like, that's not an option for me to just, uproot like that for whatever reason. I think then you kind of have to decide, like, what's more important, your relationship or the job, and so, so I think that, like I said, I think it's not really a yes or no type question. I really think that it kind of really depends on the circumstance and everything. But I really do believe that being happy is the key. That's what keeps relationships going. That's what keeps life going. So I don't think that you should sacrifice your own feelings for somebody else. I don't ever think that is it, because life is too short for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I know, like, for me, like, there's been times where, for us, where we've talked about wanting to move because we just can't do anything here.
Right.
But we have 3 reasons why we can't. And so, right there, it causes friction.
Yeah, I think in our case, specifically, I think there's